Now let's have a look what a SIPOC is. This tool is widely used in Six Sigma when we are trying to define the problem and we want to understand how the process looks like. SIPOC identifies main elements of the process in a structured manner, and we usually would like to do that before we start improving the process, so we know all the most important elements around the process. The great thing about the SIPOC is that it summarizes the inputs and the outputs of the process, as well as it shows you the main players in a specific process. The name SIPOC comes from the first letters of the elements involved in this method. So S stands for supplier, and by this we mean people or firms providing the inputs needed to perform the process. I stands for inputs, and by this we mean materials, information, consumable materials, energy, manpower needed to conduct process. P stands for process. Usually we would, during this stage, describe on a general level the process. Usually we would use 4 to 10 steps. This will help you understand in a fast manner how the process that you may be improving looks like. Then we've got outputs. So by this we mean products and services that the process is delivering. And finally, we've got C standing for customer. And here we have to list all the internal or external customers who receive the output of the process. There are plenty of ways to show the SIPOC. We will be using this very simple framework where we will simply list all the things involved in a specific element of the SIPOC. So when it comes to process, we're going to list the steps, inputs, we're going to list all the inputs, and so on and so forth. So let's have a look at the first example. We will try here to describe the process of looking for a sofa using SIPOC framework. So we're going to start with the process. The first step is to identify the customer needs. Then on the basis of that, we choose the software model. We configure the things that are not set. We have to sign the documents so they can start producing the software or bringing it from the central warehouse. After that, we set the delivery date and payment method. And once the software arrives, we collect it and put it in the right place. Now, the outputs are kind of obvious. So here, the output of the process is software. However, on top of that, we will have some smaller outputs. So delivery date, invoice. The customer would be the individual who needs a new software. Now, to define input, we would have to look at the process, what it needs. So it needs, obviously, customer needs, prices, and specification of the software, so the customer can choose from. Apart from that, we will have some different models of software. Now, since we need some inputs, we also have to define who will give us the inputs. So the customer needs can be only supplied by the individual who needs a new software. As you can see, the customer is to some extent also the supplier of the things we need for the process. Apart from that, we'll have the retailer, and the other inputs will be supplied by the retailer of software. Now let's go to our favorite example of the restaurant and the experience of enjoying the food in a good place. And here again, we're gonna start with the process. So the first step is arriving at the restaurant. After that, the customer has to take a place and say what he wants. This is used by the cook to prepare the food, which is later on served by the waiter. Once the food is eaten, the customer asks for a bill, he pays for the food, and he leaves the restaurant. Now, in terms of output, we could have tasteful meal, the bill, which is a byproduct of the whole operation. And obviously, probably the most important one is to satisfy the hunger. Now, the customer here is a hungry person. And now let's look at the inputs. So to perform the process described here, we need customers' preferences, prices, so he can choose from the product, recipes, ingredients, and obviously some cooking skills. You can also talk about man hours of people working in the kitchen and the waiter. As in the previous case, we'll try to identify the suppliers of each and every input. So customer preferences are delivered by the hungry person. Then the prices are set by the manager. The chef defines the recipe. Ingredients are delivered by the food supplier. And finally, cooking skills or man hours needed to prepare the food are delivered by the cooks. We could also probably put here the waiter. So that's in short when it comes to SIPOC. This method is a very nice and easy way to describe the process and the things which are happening within this process. And you'll use it quite often as the starting point for your improvement efforts.